with?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
So maybe
we
we
can
can.
continue. We can continue talking, and then when something comes to you, then that will be what you will use. Yesterday we were talking about maybe how to use in and how to use on. And I have created a video. I'm not sure if it posts today or when it will post, but in suggests that something is within, something is inside of something. So I think it was Herman. No, it was not Herman. It was Douglas. Douglas wanted to know about something being in his mind or something on his mind. So we were looking at in my mind, it's in my mind. It's coming up again and again until I do something about it. Something that just keeps coming up. I need to do this. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to take care of my car. All of this is in my mind or in his mind. On my mind is I'm thinking of something, but it isn't lingering there. It's not staying there. It's just on my mind at the moment. And then it's going to go away and I'm not going to think about it anymore. So that's just one way of looking at it. However, what I have said is, as you learn these different phrases, you'll have to use them until you become comfortable using them. Then it will seem natural and it will be appropriate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And now
Okay.
it comes to my mind a phrase from a song that it says, "You are always on my mind," for instance.
Yes, you're always on my mind. But even with that song, songs play on something for you to remember. It's always on my mind, but it really would be it's always in my mind.
In my mind.
But because it's a song, it takes on a different flavor. But the song it's always on my mind, but it would be correctly spoken, it's in my mind.
In my mind. Oh,
Because
wow.
it's over and over, it's always there. If it's always there, then it's in, but it's a song. But the one that you're talking about is a song. So it's a little different and a little tricky there, based upon what I was just teaching you and telling you about in and on. Um, and Crystal wanted to know about connectors. Her name starts with C, and she was saying connectors. However, connectors is not what she really wanted to understand more about. She was more interested in understanding connectors such as also, in addition, which I call transitional phrases, but they are called connectors, but the true connectors have words such as also, and, but. Those are connectors. Let's see. Other things will come to my mind, but I can't think of anything at the moment. Um, German was in New York maybe 2 weeks ago. He was in New York.
Wow, that's
He was
amazing.
he was visiting with his sister-in-law, and he had a wonderful time. And I said, "So you were in my neck of the woods."
Ah, okay. Yeah, I remember
And
that now.
and and he remembered. And you remember it because we used it so many times that when you hear it, probably forever and ever, when you hear it, you immediately remember that that is something that we used a lot in our sessions. And as I'm saying, when we use something over and over and over again, it becomes second nature and it's easier for us to use. Thus, the reason we have the invite to the Telegram group. The Telegram group is just designed for you all to go have some fun. It's a place for you to reshape, rethink some things that you are thinking about, but you may not be clear. Then when you are clear about this one thing, whether it's in or on or in my neck of the woods, you can verbally say this in the Telegram group, which gives you practice of just speaking. I do want you to know that that doesn't mean that I will be there to respond to everything that you post, but it will be there. Eventually, someone will respond to it. Eventually, I will respond to it, but it is not something that I want you to think that I'm going to be there all of the time commenting on things that you were asking about. Erica is now joining us on
Yeah,
the,
that's amazing.
yeah, so we had maybe 5 people to join over the previous days. So it has been really wonderful. Hi, Erica. Welcome to the session.
Hello, teacher. Hello, Oliver.
Yes,
Hi,
How are you
Erica.
doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. How about you?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
good to be seen.
It's good to be seen. It's good to be seen. Yeah, right. Now I remember. Whoa, yeah, it's been a long time since the last time
Yes,
we've been using that, right?
yes. Well, I'm really happy that you all have not forgotten those phrases, those words. And we have Douglas is joining. Hi, Douglas. Welcome.
Priscilla, I'm trying to make my
Okay,
They are not-
adjust your what is it? Whose word is it? It's Carla's word, connectivity. You're trying to get that connectivity going in the proper way. So fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Erica. Thanks for joining. Douglas, it's good to see you. So we were just going over, I was just going over with Oliver what we have done in the past few days. And Oliver is thinking of something that he would like for us to focus on for the next day and this evening. So now, Oliver, what would you like to focus on for your personal self today?
Thank you very much for asking, Dr. Priscilla. Now I would like to share with you one of my, one of my most recent experience. I'm not sure if I am telling this accurately, but one of my most recent experiences talking with a native speaker. It was from a guy with a guy from New Zealand. So we were talking, free talking, and then, well. He's learning Spanish, so I was helping him with his Spanish, and he was helping me with my English for sure. And one of the words that I would like to use for this session is the word yellow. It's a basic word. I know.
Like
It's a
the
basic word.
color, the color
Yeah,
yellow.
the color yellow, but
Okay.
he was making a lot of emphasis on this. He said that there's a big difference between the pronunciation from the Latin people, mainly Spanish English speakers, and the natives, right? So he said, now all the time you are pronouncing the yellow. You said jello, but the accent is strong. So he said, I would like to focus on this sound, yellow. I could catch the difference, but now I am struggling a lot when I am talking with the guys, with the people, and I'm trying to pronounce in a smooth way or more softly these words, not just yellow, but you. We are repeating again you. So I would like to pronounce in a better way, and I'm trying to making this effort, but I think that it's quite complicated. That's all my life I've been talking in this way, and he is the first person that mentioned that. So yeah, that's why I would like to focus on this.
And I will help you with that. But remember what I said, English is important to interact with other people, with other nationalities, and whose first language is not English. We all have our different accents. So even as I might say yellow, someone in the North, in the US, may say it differently. But within the context of the sentence, I will know what you're saying. So now for you with the word yellow, think of yell, yell, yell,
Yeah.
yell, and then oh, yellow, yell, yell, oh. So let's try, just try saying yellow, yell,
Yeah. Oh.
yell, oh. And what is, and what I'm hearing is, even as you're saying yell, it's your accent. Your accent is making it not sound like my yellow, but if it's just one word, I don't have enough contextual clues to make the distinction of I don't know what you're saying, but I'm focusing on the word yellow, so I know we're talking about yellow. Now, this would be when I would really need to know what we're talking about, and I would know that you were saying yellow. So listen to this conversation. Yesterday, I was going shopping, and the whole purpose to go was to select a yellow dress that I'm going to wear to a dinner party. Now, I know that I'm buying a dress, and I know that whoever's listening to me, they could hear me say color. So we would be able to clearly know that we're talking about a yellow dress, but based upon the fact that your accent, so I'm not teaching you about accent reduction. And that probably is what your friend who you're working with is talking about. So I want to say that you don't need to spend that much, my personal opinion, spend that much time on learning how to pronounce yellow, because it is clear enough for me to know that it is yellow in the context of a sentence. Now, if your pronunciation is not so good and you say yellow, I might say, what is that word that you're saying? For example, Douglas was talking about a word yesterday without a context for me. He was using the word crutches and I couldn't get the word. I could not get what he was saying. So I asked, what does this thing do that you're talking about? So then when I had some context, it was crutches. Like crutches assist with walking or moving around. Now, I don't necessarily need him to pronounce it as distinctly as a native English speaker, but I needed to know, what is he talking about? What does this thing do? So when I hear you say yellow and you're talking about a color, that's one thing. Now, yellow could mean something else also. Yellow could be slang. Oh, he's yellow. What do you mean when I say someone is yellow? I'm saying that someone is a coward. Someone is afraid of doing something. So we call these people yellow. Also, I could say this person is a chicken. Like, but you know this person is not a chicken. So out of context, I don't know what that means. But now that I can tell you that chicken means someone who is yellow, someone who is afraid, you probably will remember it when you hear it again, yet you may not be able to use it unless you're talking about chicken as something to eat. Does that make sense? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
So when I'm learning Spanish, I'm not learning Spanish right now, guys, but when I'm learning Spanish, I'm not really trying to learn Spanish to sound like a native Spanish person, but I want to have, like when I say uno, I'm probably not saying it as nice and fluent as you always say it, but you know that I'm giving you a number. So you clearly know that I'm talking about the number one. Hey, Carla. Hi, Carla.
Hi, teacher.
Good to
It's
see
good
you.
to see you again. Hi,
Yes,
guys.
yes,
I'm happy to see you here again.
fantastic. Hey, Herman, thank you for the message that you left for me. I did respond to you on the Telegram, and I think I posted the link for Crystal and anyone else or everyone else as well. So, all right. So Oliver, say hello to everyone. Everyone we've seen, I saw everyone yesterday. So you can say hello, share a little bit with them or ask them questions. Don't forget how to say what you've learned in the past, everyone. Go ahead, Oliver.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So I just say hello and ask some questions. Any question, random question?
Yes, whatever you feel like.
Okay.
What have you been doing? What have you learned? Anything. We want to hear we want to hear your voice. That's what we're listening for.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for asking. Well, I would like to share with you guys that, well, maybe after joining the sessions with Dr. Priscilla on Take Lessons, and then after the final day, you know what I mean? So we've been looking for other ways to keep practicing our English skills. So some of us, we've been joining in a platform that it is called Episode. And you know, it's a platform to practice your English with people from different parts of the world, as in this room, you know, for sure. But now recently, it's been, I think, 3 months. So I've been working in there for 3 months now as an interviewer in that platform. So now I am really glad to share with you this, you know, because that's the goal for me. Now I am using the English for working purposes and related to English. Now I feel so proud. I feel very grateful with you, Dr. Priscilla, for sure, and with all of the guys, because we've been practicing and working hard. And now it is for me like a prize.
Fantastic. Now I want to interject here because this is on my mind at the moment. Share the link with this group so that they can join that group that you're talking about. There, you can't be in too many groups, but I will caution you, if you do not contribute to the group, then don't waste the other people's time just coming to get something, bring something, and this will help you greatly because as you're speaking, you're practicing, and you'll get feedback from others that will be listening to you as well. Okay. All right, continue, Oliver. See who you remember, call them by name.
Okay, well, now, well, it's all that I wanted to share with you guys. So what now I would like to know about you, how you been, what's new in your lives.
So call them by name.
By name, okay. Carla, how you been doing, Carla? How's your mom, by the way?
Hi guys. Well, I was working as well. You know, before I don't.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you for asking, Oliver. Thank you for asking, Oliver. That's a good question. Uh, Before begin, uh, you know, I don't was working, uh, but now, unfortunately, I have a good job. Uh, I was find something in English, but unfortunately, I don't have opportunity in that area. But now I working and don't forget the English because I continue finding the way to to have connectivity with people who speak in English and I use continue using platform to learn.
Very nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What
Thank you.
about
Thank you for sharing.
Did you ask him a question, Carla? Did you have a question for Oliver?
Yes. Oliver, how do you feel? How do you feel in that job using English?
It's an amazing job. Thank you for asking. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and now I feel you know, that after several months working and trying to studying this English. So now I am applying the, basic knowledge. And, the most important thing is try to get people who is interested to learn the language. So that is my job. Try to, sort of the participants. So yeah, I feel proud about that. And I am satisfied with my new job.
I'm glad. I'm
Sorry?
glad you.
Oh, thank you, Carla.
What about you, Douglas?
Hi, Carla. Thank you for asking. I was with something in my mind about what Oliver was talking about. Is that Oliver, try to think about people who are not native Spanish speakers. How does their Spanish sound like to you? It's interesting for me because in Brazil, I can notice when Americans are speaking Portuguese, they make a very strong sound with the letter P. So they don't say important, they say important because the accent makes it. And there are other kinds of sounds strangers to Portuguese make, and we can notice that they are not native Portuguese speakers. But the communication, the most important, is happening. And so, in my opinion, I have to tell you that don't stay so
Rigid.
Strict
Mhm.
with your your deal no, with your goal to speak like an American, a native. It will happen sometimes, but people are understanding you because of the context, like Dr. Priscilla told you. So keep on working, keep on practicing, and you will do it
Right.
for sure.
And
Okay.
I want to add to what Douglas has said and what I'm saying. If you can sound like a native English speaker, that's wonderful. But if you're spending more time on trying to sound like a native English speaker before you can even conduct a really strong sentence, for me, I would suggest just get the practice down very well of just speaking. Keeping in mind yourself that as you're speaking, as you focus on one word, as you were saying the word yellow, if you want to learn how to say yellow, but I think you've already mastered yellow, so there may be another word or other words that you're thinking about. But think about the context of the full sentence of what you want to express, then focus on that one word. Fortunately for you, the person that you're working with or talking with, it's a good exchange. It's a good exchange for you. You're getting English, that person is getting Spanish. But if you were actually in a class and you were having to pay for that, I don't necessarily think that would be well worth your time to focus on individual words, but phrases, of course, would be great. Now, there are those shortened words, gonna, wanna. Those are good to learn, but I think you should first learn what they mean. I'm going to. Wanna, I want to. So if you start saying gonna, not fully understanding what it really means, when you should be using going to in formal situations, you'll be saying the wrong thing. So, okay. Erica, say hello to someone. Hey, Mauricio from Costa Rica.
Mauricio and German.
Hello, Erika. Nice to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Oh, I couldn't turn on my camera because I am driving. So that's
Oh,
why
well, be
I
safe.
turning it.
Okay,
Yeah, but I'm
it's
listening to you.
okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Good evening.
It's okay.
All right, so now just jump in, everyone. If you have questions, comments, I'm here to facilitate the conversation. I'm so excited and so happy to see you all, and want to encourage you all to just keep practicing your speaking. Think of things that you feel good about. For example, Mauricio, what do you feel good about today? What are you excited about today? What do you feel good about today? Or what would you like to share? Your microphone is muted, Mauricio.
Hello.
Hi. What are you excited
Yes.
about? Or what would you like to share?
Well, I am happy for be here,
Mhm.
and well, I don't know. I would like to practice with you, but I don't know what kind of topic.
It doesn't have to be any topic. This what's in your mind. What is in your mind? What has been staying with you? Um, and I want to say
Well,
to Douglas that in and on, it's still kind of like something maybe Mauricio hasn't been thinking about English all day. So it would be what's on your mind. When it's in your mind, it's something that you're constantly thinking about it. You're constantly thinking about it. Oh, I got to pick up my daughter from school. And then after I pick my daughter from school, I need to rush home. These are things that you have to do like on a schedule. If it's on your mind, it just popped in. Oh, this is on my mind now. I want to do this right now. So Mauricio, what is on your mind right now?
I would like to improve my skills when I want to say something in future or past.
Mm-hmm.
It it's difficult. Sometimes I try to say something right, and sometimes it's he's I don't know how say address.
Okay, I will tell you probably what you want us to know is that because you want to know that you're saying something that should be in the past, or you want to know when you're saying something in the present, you want to know when you're using the correct tense. But my question would be, how do you know that you're saying it incorrectly? Is anyone saying, Mauricio, this should be in the past? Or Mauricio, this should be present tense? No one is telling you that. I know no one is telling you that. It's all in your head. And you're probably correct. But as I've said, and that word but is a connector, one of Crystal's words. But if you do not practice, Mauricio, if you do not practice, it is going to be a problem for you all of the time. You just have to start speaking. And so, Mauricio, I'm going to say that you were here yesterday, so you know that the Telegram group is there, and most likely I have looked at it all day to make sure that if someone in this group had said something that I responded to it. But I didn't see anything that you recorded your voice on there today. So this is the only way that you're going to improve and get some feedback. Mauricio, you said that you are listening to podcasts every day on your way to work. To get that fluency out, you will need to restate verbally, what did you hear on the podcast today? It's only when you start to practice speaking that it's going to come full circle, just like the word yellow or being in your head or on or in my mind or on my mind. If you don't use it, you're not going to be able to use it when you want to use it, like now. So when I ask, what do you want to walk away from this class knowing every day that we have been on, there is something that you should be able to understand. And I think that you know that Douglas told us about crutches yesterday. Carla's word is connectivity. Erica's word has to do with something elegant, or I can't really remember, but I know it was with an E. And Herman's word was, I don't remember, but I'll
Gorgeous.
remember it. What is it, Herman?
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. When
Okay.
something, maybe
Oh.
I use the word gorgeous.
Gorgeous. He used the word gorgeous. So Mauricio,
Mine was eloquent. I'm
elegant.
sorry. Want to
Okay.
interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
Eloquent. Yeah.
So Mauricio, tell me one thing that you remember, just one thing from the podcast that you listened to today, or the podcast that you listened to yesterday, or whenever you have listened to a podcast. Tell me one thing that you've listened to.
Well, today I just remember I heard the sounds like mm, I'm sorry. I remember they discuss about meetings.
They discussed about meetings. Okay. Now they discussed about meetings. What is one thing that they discussed in the meeting?
Questions.
Well, they didn't, well, they answered questions. They had questions in the meeting. What was one question?
I remember, for example, how's the meeting going to last?
How long is the meeting going to last? Now, is that present tense or past tense? How long is this meeting going to last? Do you think it's present tense or past tense when they're asking it?
I think it's present.
Right, it's present continuous. How long is this meeting going to last? It's present because you're in it, and it's continuous because you're still in it when you're wondering, oh my gosh, how long is this meeting going to be? But that really isn't helping you the way that as an adult, which you are an adult, that isn't helping you to learn to speak English. If you were in first grade, second or third, grammar would be important because I'm at my grandbaby's house now and he can say car, horse, boat, duck, car. He's just pointing to it. And I have to imagine, what does he want with the car? Does he want me to push it? Does he want me to get it? You need to practice speaking, Mauricio. I know that you know more than the fact that what you listened to on the podcast was how long was this meeting going to take? How long is this meeting going to take? There was much more, and that's fine. That part that you've given me is fine. What I want to tell you is that you're focusing on what really isn't important. What is important is you ride with your bike and you're listening to this podcast. When you get to the place that you're trying to ride your bike to, and I'll say, what did you do on the way to work, Mauricio? I listened to my podcast. Oh, great. I listened to my podcast. Mauricio, what is something that they said on the podcast? I didn't understand everything that they were saying, but I do remember that they used the word imposter or feeling like a fish out of water. And then I'm going to say, well, what does that mean? Feeling like a fish out of water. And you'll say, I don't know. Then I will tell you. Now, Mauricio, I did not listen to the podcast, but I'm going to tell you that one of the things that you heard is someone say, I felt like a fish out of water. That's a slang, but that's an idiom. Can you repeat that? Unmute your microphone, Mauricio. I felt like a fish out of water. Unmute your microphone, Mauricio.
I'm sorry.
I want you to repeat. I felt like a fish out of water. I felt
I felt
like a fish,
like
fish,
I don't
like a fish
like a fish
out of water.
out to order.
Okay, do you know what a fish is, Mauricio? A fish is something that you catch from the stream with a pole. You scale it, you cook it, then you eat it. Do you understand? Unmute. Unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone, Mauricio. Unmute your microphone. All right. I'm going to go to, well, first I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And it's just going to be on the recording anyway. Mauricio, this is a fish. Erica, can you see my screen? Do you see the fish, Erica?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher, I can see it.
So Mauricio, this is a fish, and the fish is in water, but he is now out of the water. So this is a fish out of water. I was
I'm
asking
sorry,
you to,
teacher. I just arrived at my place. I
felt
tried
like,
to repeat your words.
yes, just repeat what I said. I felt like a fish out of water.
I felt like a fish out of water.
So when you feel like a fish out of water, several things will come to your mind. I'm uncomfortable. This does not feel good. I'm embarrassed. I want to jump back into the water, which is where my comfort zone is. This is me explaining as if I were talking on a podcast what it feels like. I felt like a fish out of water. All right. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Mauricio, what is the statement that I just said?
Well, I need to put in practice my abilities because it's not absolutely when I listen podcast only, and I need to talking more.
Okay, so Mauricio, listen very carefully. And this is a very familiar group for you. We know that Herman and Douglas speaks English really good, and Erica too, and Carla. All of you are doing good. There's something about your listening, Mauricio, that I'm not understanding how to get you to do what I've asked. Douglas, can you tell me, what did I say about the fish?
You told that the fish was out of water and it's not his normal situation.
Exactly.
And the situation when you feel like a fish out of water is not, you are not feeling good in a situation with some people and you think you are different from the others.
Exactly. Now, Erica, if I say to you, I felt like a fish out of water, what do you think I'm saying?
I think you're saying that you are in a place where you don't belong to. It's like you don't feel comfortable being in that place.
And that is the key word there, comfortable. I'm not comfortable with this situation. Mauricio, I'm coming back to you. When I ask you, what did I just talk about? Not what you need to do. You told me, Mauricio, what you need to do. That is not what I asked, which suggests that you see my mouth moving. You know that I'm speaking, and you are like a fish out of water. You don't know what to do. I want you to believe that if I say, do not be in a hurry to learn many things, learn one thing. I'm not listening. Am I really listening? Herman, what did I say about the fish?
Okay. You were talking about that the fish was out of water, but you was trying to explain that when the fish is out of water, maybe you feel uncomfortable in the situation. Maybe like
Perfect.
Rico is right now,
Mhm.
because he don't feel good, maybe he's not understanding, maybe he's nervous, but I think he's trying to do his best, but maybe
Yes.
he needs to listen carefully. What are you talking about?
Yes, exactly. Mauricio, I know that you're doing the very best. I know that. I feel it. I know that you do. You are listening, you hear me, but I want you only to tell me about the fish. Tell me, Mauricio. Listen, Mauricio, tell me, what did I say about the fish out of water?
When I in a situation uncomfortable,
How does a fish feel when it's out of water? How does a fish feel, Mauricio?
what?
How does a fish feel when it is out of water? How do you think a fish feels when it is out of water? Carla. Carla? Carla, are you there? Unmute your microphone, Carla. Carla, how does a fish feel when it is out of water? Okay, let's go
Without
to,
air?
what was that, Mauricio? How does a fish feel out of water? Oliver? Oliver,
Yeah.
tell me, how does a fish feel? How do you think a fish might feel if he's out of water?
Well, I think that the fish would feel like as it, it were like dying, maybe. So I would say that he is not breathing, but the fishes don't breathe, right? So I'm not sure what is the correct word to say that, but yeah, he is uncomfortable, right? So
He's uncomfortable. And so that is the word that I'm looking for, or one of the words I'm looking for. The fish is uncomfortable, or let's see, uncomfortable, nervous, afraid.
Right.
Now, you don't have to know all of these words, but intimidated. This is how that fish feels. Now, if we know that the fish feels uncomfortable, nervous, and afraid, and intimidated, what do you think that fish want to do? What do you think this fish want to do?
The fish wants to go to the water again.
Right, he wants to get back into the water where he feels safe. He wants to get back into the water. So Mauricio, coming back to Mauricio, what I am sensing from you is that you're listening. And I was listening as I drove up to my grandbaby's house today. I was listening to a Spanish station, and I didn't know a thing that they were saying, not anything, because they didn't use numbers. They were just talking. But I just thought, well, let me just listen. I understood nothing of what they were saying. But in order for me to understand some of the things that they were saying, I need individual words like numbers. If they had said that they were going to talk about numbers and they had mentioned the word uno, I would know uno, dos, tres. But they weren't talking about numbers, so I knew nothing. My point, Mauricio, you hear me and you're understanding maybe 50% of what I'm saying, and then you're guessing about what I'm saying. So you are not picking up enough contextual clues by listening. Now my suggestion is going to go back to you, Mauricio. Choose any of the videos, the most recent ones that I created, the one about in and on. I created one about connectors. They're like 2 minutes long. Listen to it, listen to it, listen to it until you know exactly what I'm talking about. And when you know what I'm talking about, it's teaching you, training you how to listen. Right now, you've got that feeling of being a fish out of water. You can't breathe. You don't want me to call on you. You do want me to call on you, but you are afraid that if you do not give me a perfect answer, I'm going to have some type of feeling about you, but that's not true. Because I know that you are listening when I call your name in most cases, you do respond. So the podcasts that you're listening to, they may be too long. As a matter of fact, I'm going to create a short video, especially for you, Mauricio. And I'm going to post it. And then tomorrow, I want you to tell me what the video is about. Mauricio, are you hearing me? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm going to see that videos. Thank you. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
I'm going to send you a video. I want you to listen to it. You may have to listen to it 10 times or 3. But I will ask you on tomorrow, if you can make it tomorrow, what the video is about. Let's see. Oh, Carla left. Did Carla leave? I don't see her name. So German, Mauricio, Erica, Oliver, Douglas. All right. I don't want you all to feel as if there's any pressure to go to the Telegram group, because I'm saying I'm not going to be there all the time. Oliver is in a group, and you all have created a group amongst yourselves as well. The goal will be show up as often as you can. I spoke about my accountability group that I belong to for teachers working with English language learners. I don't necessarily go every day, but it's Monday through Thursday, and we do something to help with our teaching, or we just don't show up. But that's an accountability group. And that's what I believe is going to help all of you, even though Douglas, you speak English well. Erica, Herman, and Oliver, I think you speak English well also. Mauricio, I think you could speak better, but first you've got to remove that block that you are trying to give me something that I'm not asking. So you're not listening very carefully. And that's what is the missing piece. But if you all could speak with someone, just like we were doing when we were meeting every day, you all gain so much by hearing my voice and the voice of your classmates that you remember, thank you for asking, my neck of the woods and your vocabulary words. But the key to it all, when you stop going to where your groups are, continue to use that information that you're learning. This is what my little grandbaby now was looking at some little cards that he puts in this little thing. What did you have? It was milk, and milk was, what is milk? What is the Spanish word for milk?
Milk.
Leche.
Leche.
Leche. Leche. He couldn't say leche, but he can halfway say milk, but he tried to say leche. If I didn't have the card, I wouldn't know what he's talking about. But he is just learning individual words, Mauricio, so as you are listening to the podcast, you are going to hear a word. If you do not know the word and you understood what they said, like crutches, when I said Douglas used the word crutches, what is he talking about? He was talking about what is this thing? And she was pointing to this thing. And I still couldn't get it. I said, so what does this thing do? Then I understood what he's saying, but it was his accent that distracted me from even knowing what he was saying. And because of the accent, I couldn't figure out what the thing was because the context was, what is this thing? There was no contextual clues for me. And that may not make any sense to some of you, but it seems clear to me. What else is there? Erica, tell me, what did you do today?
I've been working all day, and what else? Then I picked I'm sorry, I forgot. Thanks for asking. I was thinking because I cannot remember what I did today.
Okay, so you could say, I did so many things. I can't remember one thing, but one thing that's on my mind now is I'm happy to take the class. All right. Oliver, what is your word? Oliver, what is your word?
My word?
Thank you for
Yeah, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for asking, Dr. Priscilla. May I use the same word that I chose before, or did I need to choose another one?
Oh, I didn't know you gave me one already. Yes, what is the one that you gave? Yes, use the same one.
The same one? Yellow. Yellow.
Yellow. Okay. And what do you want us to know about yellow?
About yellow. Well, now the new thing that you taught before about this idiom, yellow. So when I joined for the first time the Dr. Priscilla class, for first time ever, I mean, I was yellow to take in part of the class because, you know, I was afraid. I felt like a fish out of water. So that's what I felt.
So let me stop you there. So when you came to my first class, you felt like a fish out of water. Now, I gave you some words that went with yellow. Yeah, you could be chicken or not brave, but in context, I understand what you mean when you say chicken, but chicken is not the best choice of words in what you want to convey. But I felt like a fish out of water. When someone says that you're chicken, maybe You want to fight? And then you said, no, 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 I'm afraid. Well, you wouldn't say, I'm afraid. You'll just say no, and you would walk away. That's being chicken, or that's being yellow. But being a fish out of water would be perfect for when you came to my first class. I felt like a fish out of water because I'm not accustomed to talking to people. When I came to class, in my mind, which is something that has been in your mind and constantly in your mind, you want to do it. It's always there in the box. Something that's in the box, something that if there's a box in the container, it's in there. It's been in my mind for a long time that I want to learn to speak English. Your song, Oliver, it's on my mind. You know, that is just that song. So it's, and songs have a different twist, but you could still say it. Okay. Douglas, tell me something and try to use your word.
Sorry, tell me. Can you repeat that, please?
Yes. Tell me something, talk to us about something and use your word. I don't remember what your word is.
Unusual word?
The word from yesterday. What was your word?
My word, acknowledgement.
Okay.
I'm trying to apply it, and may I apply it in an example? I acknowledge that my first time on your class, I felt like a fish out of water. And by the time I got used to the way you used to teach and to drive your classes, and now I acknowledge that I feel like a fish in the water.
Very good. You feel like a fish in the water. Okay, let me plug my charger in. Herman, can you give us some information about something that you want us to know? And I'm looking for my battery charger. It may not even be upstairs. Herman.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you very well. So you asked me about to say something about what?
Using your vocabulary word.
Your vocabulary word.
Oh, my vocabulary word? Okay, gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, as I told you, last week I went to New York. I have time to visit many places at New York. One of them was the Central Park. I think this is a gorgeous place.
Herman, let me stop you. Let me stop you for a moment. Mauricio, Herman has already been to New York. So he's just said he's going, but you went. I went to New York. Mauricio, that's the past because he's already gone. He's back. So he is telling us that he went to New York. Okay, go ahead, Herman. Continue.
Okay, so I'm able to visit the Central Park. So it was a gorgeous place because there is a lot of nature. You could see a lake, a beautiful lake.
Mhm.
You could rent a boat, do things in the boat in the lake. And also there is a lot of monuments, and all of them are very gorgeous because they are very well done. So I love to spend my time there because it's a huge park. So it's, for me, it was very tiring to walk over all the park. So I think it was a nice time that I spent in that place.
Fantastic. Very good. Okay, Mauricio, I know that you have studied that sentence about the schedule, and your word was schedule, I believe. Mauricio, unmute your microphone and tell me something that was scheduled that you discussed with your boss. Anything that you wish.
Well, I wish I wish I I wish I like it. He give me vacation.
Mhm. You would like for your boss to give you time off for vacation. When would you like to get off work for your vacation? When?
This weekend.
And what will you do on vacation, or where will you go on vacation?
Maybe I'm going to the beach with some friends.
Okay, maybe I'm going to go to the beach with some friends. Very good. Did I get everybody? Oliver, Douglas, Herman, Mauricio. Okay, so everybody has spoken. There's great value in just talking. I just want you all to realize that, whether you're talking with me or talking with your amongst yourselves. And if you don't have someone to talk to, listen to the podcast, just like Mauricio is doing, and try to say to yourself, what did they just say? And just say it, even if the words do not come correctly, but don't say it quietly. Speak it, because when you keep everything in your mind, you're going to say it correctly because your mind is saying, yep, I got it. But if you speak it, it's forcing words out of your mouth that you can hear. And yes, you know, everything that you say is not correct. If you are familiar with ChatGPT and know how to ask ChatGPT to explain, Mauricio, you can use ChatGPT and type in Spanish what you heard, then ask ChatGPT to translate it to English. When it translated to English, repeat what ChatGPT has given you. If there are words that you don't understand, you can ask ChatGPT to explain the word, or you can go to the dictionary and look up the word. I mean, there's just so many tools available to help you pronounce words. There is usually a pronunciation chart in the dictionary, and ChatGPT will give you the word phonetically if you ask, can you write this word secretive phonetically? And it will write it phonetically so that now you know how to look at it and perhaps speak it. Or as I've said, you can go to the Telegram group and record your voice and practice. All right. I hope this has been interesting to you guys, beneficial. We will meet again on Friday, which is tomorrow, same time. I will meet with you all again at some point, but I don't know when that will be. But I am on Telegram. And if you record your voice, I will get back to you with an answer of some sort. Anybody else want to just talk about something? We'll have 9 minutes just for you all to talk about something. Go ahead.
I want to talk about artificial intelligence because right now there is a lot of apps that you could see in Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok.
Mhm.
It's very interesting because they started to talk to you in English and you have to answer in English.
Mhm.
So if you speak incorrectly, the app is gonna say the sentence in a correct way. So you have to repeat the sentence and you are gonna learn how to say it in the best way.
Fantastic.
But the thing is that you have to pay for the app. But for me, I think it's very interesting because now you have some artificial to practice English.
Mhm.
So I think it's very nice to try that kind of apps because I think it's something new, something that you don't have in the past, and they talk about what you are talking about. So you want to talk about technology, you want to talk about teaching or whatever you want to talk, and the artificial intelligence is going to answer you.
Right. Now, I don't know, ChatGPT.com. I have the paid version of ChatGPT. So it might become free if it's not already free, but I'm going to share my screen, ChatGPT. And I'm going to say, yes, I can hear you. Okay, chat, please say this sentence for me. I felt like a fish out of water. And okay, let me find the button there.
While I couldn't see the lab, here's how to say, I felt like a fish out of water. Felt like a fish out of water. This phrase means you felt uncomfortable or out of place in a situation.
Now, I don't know, were you all able to hear? Were you all able to hear it?
No, I couldn't hear very well, but I think ChatGPT is talking.
Yeah, so ChatGPT just said, I felt like a fish out of water. It repeated exactly what it says. I felt like a fish out of water. So you see, it gave you the phonetic sound like a fish out of water. So if you have ChatGPT and you have this little thing down here, it will read it out loud. So you type in something Spanish, ask it to translate it. Write this in Spanish.
But I don't know in this version that you are paying. So if you could talk to ChatGPT in order to not write, just talking, and I don't know if ChatGPT is gonna understand what are you talking about, and it is going to give answer about your questions or tell something about you are talking about.
Well, that's an interesting question that you're asking, but ChatGPT is very intuitive. Okay. The word intuitive means that I believe,
Easy.
no, it doesn't mean easy, but it means that I believe this is what you're asking. It's trying to figure exactly the question that you want to know. So if you misspell something, it will give you an answer, but that's not the answer that you
Yeah.
wanted. Then you ask a different question. You could just say, no, this is not the right answer. So I'm going to put in something. Can you help me with this question? My old age is 70. So I'm actually asking it to say it correctly. I am 70 years old. I have reached the age of 70. At 70, I am enjoying my life. So this is ChatGPT intuitively trying to help me answer something, but it doesn't really know. So I'm just, if you don't know how to say something, just put it into chat. Chat will try to help you understand what it means. So now, if I want to learn Spanish with ChatGPT, I will ask it to read this in Spanish. But for some reason, you all can't hear it anyway, but
Spanish.
it says, Me siente como Perez fuera del agua. I know it doesn't say that, but I can keep listening to it and listening to it and listening to it until I truly understand it. And I'm offering that as a suggestion for English. Put something in chat in English and ask it to repeat it. This is the AI component, as German is saying, that there are many platforms out there that you can use. Most of them, or the good ones, you would need to pay. But Oliver has found the group. You have a group of yourselves, and you have the group that I just told you about for Telegram. It's a slow learning process, but if you're committed, you will find some other people that are just as passionate about learning as you are. I think this group is kind of special because I'm targeting just you guys. I did open it up for the 1,300 members on Facebook group, but they don't necessarily know that I'm here. And when they realize that I posted, I will be done. So the one thing that I have said is that when you are generous enough with your time to help me by showing up and watching my videos, that is one way that I'm being paid. But I do require that you come willing and wanting to do something. And so this video is going to go on YouTube so that I can be compensated by people watching it, if that makes sense. Okay, anything else? Anybody else?
Teacher, I'm sorry.
I-
I'd like to, I'm sorry, Douglas. It's my internet. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes, I
you.
can.
Okay. I would like to recommend you. It's like an app. It is called Hello Talk. That is the name of the app. It works in the same way of YouTube and Take Lesson,
Okay.
because you can, like, for example, record yourself or do those live stream.
Okay. What's the name of it?
So Hello Talk. It's, for example,
Hello,
many
Talk.
people is gonna yes, they start join to your stream, and you can start whatever you want. But what they are looking for is to hear someone, a native English speaker, speak English, because they want to listen a real person talking the language.
Yeah.
So you can start talking about whatever you want. If you want to prepare a class for them, it's whatever you want to do, it's okay. But they will give you comments, and some people can give you like coins. So depending on the amount of coins you receive, you can exchange that for real money, something like that. But
Okay.
It's good. You can try. I don't know.
Okay. I think I am familiar with it, and I actually think I've been on it, and I decided that I didn't want to be a regular person on there. I'll check it out. I'll check it out, and I'll post a link, because I know that there were a lot of people who came there. I mean, there are a lot of people coming. There's one man who teaches at a university. He's really good. I can't remember his name though, but I'll check it out again. Well, I'm still a member and I can just pop on there anytime. But yes, she's absolutely correct. There is a great one. I mean, it's open 24 hours a day. There's always someone there that's talking. I don't know why I stopped going, because I was being paid too. I was being paid as well. to be there, but it wasn't like take lessons,
I
but
think
I
there was
remember.
a problem with the app because you know that some people they might enter not just because they are interested in learning the language,
Mhm.
but they are
They're-
wanting like
they're
they're
looking-
flirting in some way. So it's like they are not interested in that.
Right.
But
They're like it's a dating app. They were, you know,
it's
they yeah, I can't remember.
not for me, not for me. But well, when I go and I practice my English, there is I find those, I go to those live stream and I listen to teachers, to people from America, from other countries,
Yeah.
English countries.
Okay.
What they do is speaking or teaching something, pronunciation,
Mhm.
idioms, whatever you feel like to.
Right. And when I was there, I did something similar to what we're doing. I can't remember, but it wasn't like on a Zoom call. I really can't remember, but you can talk or you can show your face. But we'll talk more about it on tomorrow. Thank you, Erica, for that. And if you find the link, you can post the link tomorrow or post the link in the
Telegram?
The Telegram
Yeah.
group.
Okay. Okay.
It's always great to see you guys. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Nice to see you all.
Okay, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming. Bye, everyone.
Good to see you.
Thank
It was
you.
nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mauricio. Bye,
Bye.
Douglas. Bye, Erica. Bye,
Bye
Oliver.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.